And we are very live. It is June 23rd at the time of this recording. We're in the year 2021 and a very impromptu version of the podcast. Pretty much kind of seemingly out of nowhere. We thought it was fitting and we decided to go ahead and go live on a very unique circumstance.
No, this is terrible. I'm telling you. This is blasphemous. Stephen A. Smith called it out right now. I'm telling you, this might be funny for some, but this is some blasphemy right here.
Well, Moose, I'll be honest with you, man. This was not what I expected. We were teased with some tweets from President of Technology at T-Mobile, Neville Ray, the Twitter account, indicated that there was going to be some sort of a network announcement or something. Here's the thing, Moose. I don't have any more expectations for uncarrier announcements, press releases, T-Mobile news releases. To be honest with you, I've already kind of pivoted and I moved away. I kind of lost the uncarrier energy, like the excitement. I lost it when they started recycling announcements. What they were doing was like they would announce something very briefly in a press release in like February, and then at the end of like March or April, they would do like an official launch, and then they would call that the uncarrier announcement. So, and they did that like 2 or 3 times. They did it with Scam Shield. They did it with the Connecting Heroes program, the 5G for all thing. We already had those announcements, and then they re-announced it with an official thing. And since then, I've been out of the whole like uncarrier announcement business. So my expectations are now so low, but this was really weird. This particular announcement, not uncarrier, it's not an uncarrier announcement or anything like that. But it's just weird. It's unusual. And to be honest with you, I would have never thought of this in 100 years. There was no way anybody could have called it and said, "Oh yeah, I knew this was coming." I definitely. Because here's what it is. And let me say hello to some people here that just popped in. We have Delan, we have Barry, #Mod Squad, #Patreon Crew. We have JL Steck. We have Hector, who's in the house. He says #Gin Gang. We also have Apple Watch, who's just popping in here. Carlos, welcome to the show, my friend, if you are here. Apple Watts is in the house. We have, let's see, Austin just popped in. He said, uncarrier beer. All right. Losa, the sound is... I think it's Carlos that started happening. We'll see if we can get him back in here. I'm going to remove him, and then we'll see if we can get him back. We have MS, who's in the house. MS, what's up, my friend? Aaron P is here. Ryan is in the house. We also have David. And then Barry says, the college kids are running the marketing. I think you might be onto something. What's up, my brother Jamaal, my dude? Delon, appreciate you, man. Joeseph is here hanging out. Richie's in the house as well. Lavendi, good to see you, my friend. Glad you could stop by. Joey is here. Yeah. All right, man. So let me kind of sort of like read the press release so everybody kind of can get caught up in case they missed it. T-Mobile is officially an adult beverage distributor. The uncarrier is, I guess it's uncarrier to sell alcohol. Nobody really does that. Visually impaired tech is in the house. Yeah. Honestly, Moose, there's no other way to look at this, but this is some sort of strange marketing technique. It's not really about doing anything that makes sense. It's not really doing something that's going to be revolutionary. It's just quiet right now for T-Mobile, and there's no new features. There's no new plan changes. There's nothing on the docket that they're going to address. So they're just like, let's just keep ourselves relevant. You know what I mean? And let's just continue our marketing onslaught, right? So basically, they're selling 5G branded gin. Is that what it is? Right?
Yep.
It's gin, five, and then ginger beer.
Yep.
So they've got a
That's
couple different types of alcoholic beverages. They said that they are going to be celebrating the ultra capacity 5 gin as some sort of milestone. Now they've reached 300 million people with their low range 5G and 150 million people with their ultra capacity 5G N41. So that's how they did it. So they made like a commercial out of it. They're actually going to be selling it for like a limited amount of time, and then they also did a. You remember like the Dos Equis commercials with the most interesting man in the world? They did
yeah.
that
That
thing
is
for like
exactly.
Neville Ray, and he was like he put John Stanky on hold, and he's still on hold or something after since 1983. Um, anyways, they got Jones Soda is the company that is making the non-alcoholic option for that 5 range beer, 5G range gin, whatever it is, dude. I don't even know. Whatever. It's it's really honestly, man. A part of me was sad at first. I was like, this is what they're resorting to because the marketing team has been super busy. They've been trying to keep their branding in front of people, front and center during the NBA playoffs, baseball, MLB. They're marketing the 5G abundance, the growth of the network, all these great things, and this is honestly it's kind of just silly. But I don't know, man. Go ahead,
This is
Moose.
some. So I know Tyrone and I and Sneed and Carlos, we were talking about this earlier today. I'm very heated by this. You know, some of my uncles have had to deal with alcoholism in their life, and I will never support a company that promotes something like this. Okay, this is very close to home, Sneedman. I think that this is ridiculous. That they are resorting to a press release to celebrate this by saying, "Oh, by the way, we're going to sell you alcohol, and we're going to ship it to you without any way of actually verifying if you're 21 or years or older." You know, I've been hearing that UPS is going to verify by doing like a signature check or something like that. You know, I never get signature checked on some of this stuff. They just drop it off in the front of the house. You know, to me, this is absolutely ridiculous. It's really sad day when a company has to resort to something like this, man, because this is what they want is for us to talk about this. But we should be talking about their network instead of them promoting 5 gin or a beer. I mean, what are your thoughts, Tyrone?
No, I agree 100%. I think this could be, and I hope I'm not reaching, but I think this could be part of the reason why their chief marketing officer left. He might have known about this and said, I can't co-sign this.
Wow.
Because, I mean, 10,000 or so people die per year because of alcohol involvement, drunk driving, overdosing. So, I mean, I think they're sending a wrong message to the market. I know you could tie it to a celebration because they hit their goals 6 months ahead of time, but you don't sell it at the same time. You don't sell it to the
Barry
public.
Barry chimed in and said they require a liquor license of some sort. Shannon says T-Mobile is dumb. Aaron P, insinuating that they're just doing this to stay relevant. I can't say that's not out of the realm of possibility. I think it most definitely is.
Yeah, they do that. I mean, it's a random Wednesday. I mean,
if there's a reason to stop drinking, this is it. Chimes in Nikki T. Good to see you, Nikki. Lavendi, my dude, says never buy Jones Soda. Check. You know what, Aaron P., I actually tend to agree, and this is probably a good point to bring up. This does not happen under John Leisure. There's just no way. They were obviously very critical of their competition. They were very aggressive in their marketing under John Leisure with the Uncarrier. Their moves, the branding, all of that was clearly apparent. There's just no way I think this happens under John. You know what? Honestly, Joeseph, if it was April, I mean, yeah, you would think it's an April Fool's joke, but yeah, I don't know. Lavendi chimed in about the alcoholism being a fact. Us Latinos are a big percentage of customers. Ty Krantz lost my best friend to a drunk driver. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, man. It's most definitely a real thing. Do you guys think they are promoting alcoholism with this?
I mean, whenever a company does something like this, it's a very blunt statement saying, hey, we endorse drinking. That's why I feel very offended by this personally, because we're talking about a telecom, okay? We're not talking about Budweiser here. We're not talking about Anheuser-Busch here. What the hell does T-Mobile have to do with beer selling? This is ridiculous.
Joshua, they're in celebration of reaching 5G milestones. They're going to be distributing some sort of ginger beer, gin, some 5 gin. I'm not really sure what's going on. Hideika says, I think that people are taking this out of proportion, but at the same time, I don't get why they hype the hell out of some liquor bottles.
We have people on T-Mobile subreddit, and it's a pinned post, okay? People are saying that this is, quote, from Louis M. 1023. This is the stupidest thing I've seen in a minute, and I worked at Amazon. Another guy said, let me find it over here. It's the trend where it's like, there it is. Tell me you've run out of Uncarry ideas without telling me you've run out of Uncarry ideas. Like, this is ridiculous, dog. This is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think there is nothing left to Uncarrier. Now they're just reaching for anything. Chain, my dude, good to see you, man. He said they're targeting the young generation like Washington State gives a vape for everyone who gets vaccinated. Wow. He says hashtag T-Mobile is done. This is money that could have gone to network upgrades. Yeah, I mean, you have to put dollars to all this, right? Richie says the same thing. Put the money into the network.
And another guy is saying that the press release, the actual factual stuff is that 300 million people are covered with 5G, yet the majority of the people commenting don't have even 5G at their house from T-Mobile. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Hideika says that Tesla did the same thing.
I don't follow Tesla, so I have no idea. We follow T-Mobile.
Natsu says nothing wrong with it. It's a celebration gesture. They might sell pink thongs. I'm pretty sure they've been on the pink thongs for a while. The onesies, we've seen those.
So yeah, to the licensing, Sneed, I don't think they need licensing because they're just branding the liquor.
Oh, okay.
They're putting
they're not the distributor. Okay, gotcha. Ryan says he doesn't see the connection to alcoholism, so not everybody potentially sees it the same way. 300 million pops, nothing to celebrate when you have major gaps in your network, especially by launching beer. Which idiot came up with this? I agree. I don't see the value that this gives your company. A lot of the things that you guys gave are very personal, and I respect that. I'm not here to downplay anybody's opinions or thoughts, not my intention. But when I just look at this as a marketing technique, I mean, we've seen dinosaurs, like Rugrats with like Reptars. We've seen sports cars, we've seen boats, we've seen trucks. What else have we seen? Paintbrushes?
Paintbrushes, golf
references.
Yeah,
you name it, we've seen it.
Yeah, and I get people's sentiments. Joshua mentions the coverage gaps. I mean, they most definitely. I mean, I was on a Moose. I don't know if you got to watch my Twitter live stream yesterday. I took a 50-mile drive east. So like when I went on that resort, when I went on vacation with the family, I went west. A couple 100 miles.
Right.
And I frequently go south. Remember the Smithville live stream and all that. This time I went east and a little bit south. And all the carriers had great coverage. The speeds were adequate. So I felt confident that everything was cool. On the way back on the freeway, I FaceTimed Carlos and it couldn't hold the FaceTime. So
Go ahead.
So like, when I think about things like that, and then this is the type of thing that they're really focusing on. It's like somebody trying to hit a 35-foot three-pointer in the NBA, but they don't want to practice their free throws. They're unwilling to do the regular mundane, like this is what you got to do. I know it's generic, I know it's plain, it's not exciting, but these are the things that you have to do to be good. They want to do these incredible, great things and then these unusual and random, but they're not taking care of the bottom line, which is what they're selling.
Some guy on Reddit was saying T-Mobile, this is quote from JPT86, T-Mobile takes the time to introduce not so cleverly named drinks and management is proud of themselves, yet they tease it on social media. Meanwhile, we can't get proper way to prevent SIM hijacking. Priorities. Absolutely true.
Jared, I completely agree. I 100% see this as a marketing ploy, good or bad. It's definitely not good. I don't see how this is added value to what they've done. Yeah, Big Lou, he says, more reasons why their network is trash. I mean, this is it's them trying to promote the network, but like what did they really focus on in this? Did they really have they convinced people that their network is better by doing this? Like I don't know. I don't see how it does.
Yeah. Very complicated situation. I mean, if we're going to strictly talk about the network, people still don't have even N71. And we now know that N71 is unusable in hospitals because of the interference with the equipment. The equipment is prioritized versus N71.
By the way, Moose, we still haven't gotten any maps for the N41.
That's true. There was an article from Light Reading that T-Mobile does not want to show the 5G maps of N41.
And Shaman chimes in, T-Mobile still has backhaul issues, coverage gaps nationwide. Yeah, I mean, there's things that they need to tend to. The alcohol will fuel N41. Thanks, Robson.
More like, we were talking about this earlier with Carlos, Tyrone, and you, Sneed. Maybe this is necessary in order for you to realize that the T-Mobile 5G network just doesn't work.
It's unusual. I'm not sure if I missed any super chats or anything, but I'm trying to keep up with the chat. The network needs so much improvement. They should focus purely on the network, not liquor. I mean, I'm with you there. I agree. I've been very critical of their networking. I'm not really keen to this. What I would want to know, actually, Moose, and this would be huge if we could get somebody on, anybody who is either in the industry or has been tasked with marketing for large companies. I would love to know their thoughts and impressions on this. You know what I mean? And secondly, how about Eugene, aka Sweaty Armpits, Mike Sievert, trying to detach himself from this announcement?
Yes.
Has anybody seen any tweets of this or anything? I know that, some people were indicating that he was not really, too keen on this. I mean, it is clearly a Neville Ray thing. You know, he's the one tweeting, he's the one pushing the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, this is out of control. Is what I'm getting from this.
Yeah,
You know?
it's most definitely unusual.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, Moose, I have not in a million years could have developed that this was gonna happen. Like this was gonna be the thing. All right, Carlos, sounds good. We'll be glad to have you when you get a chance. Is Ahmad trolling? Is something happening in the live chat, Moose?
What happened?
Is something happening in the live chat? Somebody said, is Ahmad trolling?
I have no idea.
Okay. T-Mobile is just too cool for school, I guess. Yeah, we're definitely going to be tuning into that auction. It's interesting. We'll see how that plays out. We were kind of hoping that T-Mobile would just, you know, get all of that spectrum, keep it all contiguous, you know, and then maybe the FCC keeps them out of the CBRS auctions and other stuff. So that way they can keep their spectrum contiguous from the other carriers as well. But I'll be definitely watching for it, and we'll be keeping tabs on it. AT&T and Verizon acting professional. And you know what? I think this is one of those things, Moose. You know, we've talked about AT&T and Verizon. They take a bit of a different approach to their marketing. It's a little bit more mature. They don't really do things like this. I can't think of a time where that was the case. Occasionally, AT&T will poke a jab at T-Mobile, I think.
I mean,
Typically, Verizon doesn't, though.
There's actually already a jab right now from AT&T official Twitter about this. It says, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. Hold on. So AT&T responds 25 minutes ago. Our boss. So T-Mobile launched a 5G gin line. The boss's team. What? Our boss was looking like just looking emoji. The team was looking back at him or her, the boss, and our boss is like silence. There's literally nothing to say. Like it's ridiculous, man. Like even AT&T is like, what does this have to do with telecom?
Nothing.
Exactly. This is
Oh, I see the tweet now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unusual.
Yep.
It's most definitely unusual. I mean, was somebody paid to develop this?
Clearly they were, meeting with these companies to rebrand their drink, T-Mobile, whatever.
Okay, so I think you, Moose, Tyrone, myself, I think we're kind of a little bit too serious maybe to ask about this. But like, are there people of the less serious type, people that are more playful, they're a little bit more easygoing than us, maybe? Maybe they think this is funny or cool. I don't know. Aaron's saying that he could potentially see people leaving because of this. Really? Leaving the carrier?
I do. There's a lot of people that commented that were very upset by this.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would consider this a move, Big Lou. If anything, I think it's a bad move. I mean, they couldn't have done anything different to celebrate, their self-proclaimed 5G milestones. James is saying you can drink to T-Mobile and then realize you don't have a signal. David says if Verizon wanted to buy me a beer, I wouldn't be mad. Yeah, I think it's going to backfire. I don't like backfire in the fact that I don't think it's going to give them anything positive, right? I don't see how they win this. Oceanic vibes. Where is Oceanic vibes? I thought he was in here. Get people drunk to convince them to get T-Mobile. Give them drinks at the store so they spend more money, maybe?
Jesus.
I don't know. It's crazy. The lack of N41 makes us drink bag sample lots. As they're coming through. Drunk mobile.
Crazy.
All right. I wanted to kind of get the impression of the Twitter world. Moose, were you able to see any of the responses? Were you able to see any of the retweets or the replies?
Let me
Anything?
see here. Give me 1
Or
second.
maybe you could look at the actual announcement on YouTube and look at some of the replies and comments, maybe?
Some guy trolled to the thing. I would very much like to try it. AT&T News. Let's see what they said.
You think there's going to be a lot of that trolling going on here?
Yeah, there's a lot of trolling. I think the biggest trolling is on the T-Mobile subreddit, though.
Hey, Baby Yoda, good to see you. I can see the term going up quickly after this. Oh, interesting.
Some guy was saying that, the Sprint news that you reported last week or this week on Nebraska? They were like, maybe this is a way to give back to the customers all the overages, because in Nebraska, you can actually, is one of the included states that can receive this alcohol in the mail.
Nice.
Yeah, very interesting.
Does the FCC need to step in on this, or do you think they just leave it alone?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Like, does the FCC say, hey, we can't have wireless telecom, trying to be beverage distributors? I mean, people are paying for these, aren't they? I mean, this is not them just giving stuff away for free.
Yeah, they have to pay for this.
They're actually paying. Like, you can order 6 packs of ginger beer and bottles of liqueur or whatever,
Yeah.
It's so unusual, Moose. I'm looking at the, Mike Sievert did tweet it. He said, combining T-Mobile and Sprint has given us tools to lead in 5G and in value, eliminating a false choice forced on customers for decades. With 300 million people already covered with low-band 5G and 150 million with ultra capacity, the T-Mobile era has arrived. Let's celebrate. And then it's the 5Gen. It's so stupid, Moose.
I'm telling you.
It's really...
I think the marketing bureau that oversees marketing, I think, is going to have to intervene with this one, but not the FCC. The FCC doesn't have to do anything with this, but definitely is something that we got to talk about. Where it's like, wow, like this is we're going here now. Like what?
So
doesn't make
unusual.
sense, man.
I don't even know what to think. I'm telling you, Moose, I never would have come up with this in a million years.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things that T-Mobile did, I was like, all right, that's a good idea. Or, okay, yeah, that's a cool spin. But honestly, they've been reaching with this whole thing. The dinosaurs, the reptars, the rugrat thing, the golf clubs, the boats, the yachts, all those things for the 5G, the low band, mid band, layer cake. I swear to you, man, it's been like weird the whole way. Like, they're trying to throw stuff at the wall and they're trying to see what sticks. And I feel like this is a little bit more of that reaching,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Do you see this making a difference for them in a positive way?
Completely, for the majority of people, this is completely irrelevant, in my opinion.
So much hate in this chat. What's good about this?
This is one of those things where it really doesn't, it's not a good or positive, it's just like a what? Completely out of left field.
I guess, Moose, if you were somebody was into like vanity things, like stuff like this, or maybe it turns into a collector's item. I don't like, hey, you remember when T-Mobile gave out 5Gen and you like keep it 20, 30 years down the line? You find it in the attic or the basement and you're about to move or whatever. Yeah, I mean, this is 100% novelty. I mean, are people really buying this and they're going to start drinking it?
Possibly. I mean, maybe they buy 2 and keep 1 and try it out to see how it is.
Interesting.
I mean, a lot of people look, I'm gonna be honest with you, Sneedman, and we already anticipated this. The shills, the thongs, they're gonna be happy because they're like, who cares at this point? They don't care about quality of service. They don't care about anything. But to me, this is a very insulting type thing because of the fact that it triggers a lot of people. We talked about this. This is very unprofessional. I know Carlos has very strong opinions about this. I can't wait to. Let me see. I'm just going to call Carlos right now, and we're going to get him on the line here. Let's see what he says. Hold on. Stay on the line. Carlos, we got you on the line here.
Yo.
I know we couldn't get you on the live stream, but you're live and direct. What do you think about this T-Mobile situation?
What about trying to get people drunk?
Yeah, talk to the viewers, dog. Talk to the viewers. You're live, dog. You're live.
Bro, I really think it's a bunch of bullshit, bro. They're trying to get people drunk. Like what kind of situation is this, bro? One, this is a dangerous situation because, a lot of people might say, oh, but we'll check ID, blah blah blah, this and that, bro. But I'm sorry, like UPS driver, he got some more important things than to check an ID. So he's gonna just get his delivery done, because he got about 200-300 packages minimum cops to go deliver, than to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a shit show, man. I don't know what they're thinking with it. And the other day, they're talking about the excellence in their network, but why? The other day when Steve FaceTime with me from his T-Mobile line, literally within 10 seconds, it started cutting out.
Right. So
full signal, 5G speeds up the wazoo. Couldn't do it. FaceTime.
Right. And
FaceTime,
yeah,
I've done a FaceTime call with AT&T or Verizon being at 0.25 down and barely any upload, and it held okay.
what do you think how do you see the perception of this? Like, is this something irrelevant for people, or do you think that this is actually going to have repercussions that they didn't foresee?
This will have, for one, it's going to have repercussions for the reason that you're going to have minors getting a hold of this alcohol. I'm sorry to say this, everybody, you might want to give a benefit of the doubt. Like, yes, they disclaimed on there that they have to check for ID, but I've worked in the delivery world. I know what it is to get swamped with 400 or 500 deliveries a day, or even 3. Like, that's too much. T-Mobile's not paying them extra to go and ask people for ID. They're not paying UPS extra money.
They're just going to deliver it. Leave it in front of the house.
Deliver it, especially if you got signature bypass in your house. Like my house, I do. But sometimes I get packages when I'm not home. That's why I got a doorbell camera. Like that's what it's for me to be able to bypass these signatures, and I know that my package will be there because I have a camera.
Right.
And a lot of people do that, bro. So yeah, I don't see their verification working very well, bro. This is going to be a PR disaster.
Yeah, it's to me, like I was saying to Sneed and I was saying to you and Tyrone earlier on the call, this is very disturbing that people are going to see that this is okay to do.
You think the issue is in the execution? Do you think the issue is the concept? Do you think the issue is the material? And what's really the issue here?
Okay, my computer working. All right, add me on.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you there. We'll see you there, Carlos.
Get him on in a second. You get what I'm saying, Moose? Like when I was asking those questions shortly.
Oh yeah.
Like, is it the topic? Is it or the content? Is it the approach? I don't know, man. I think I'm always going to struggle to see the value in this. I really am. Okay, did we get Carlos in? Moose, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm trying to get Carlos. Looks like we're still having technical difficulties getting him in. I'm going to remove Carlos, and then we'll add him back in.
Mm.
Carlos, can you hear us? Pat says all the above. They need to fire their marketing department. Actually, they just had a change with marketing, right, Moose? A lot of the executives moving around.
Yep. You know, the CMO, right, left the company.
Yeah. David chimes in. It's probably watered down like the network. Sheesh.
Jesus.
Yeah, look, we're having trouble getting you in, bud. I'm not sure what's going on. It says he's muted.
Hmm.
Oh, we lost him, I think. Nope, he's back. Nope, he's gone. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, it's good to see you guys. We got 65 in the live. Could have released sodas, perhaps collectible items instead. I was kind of thinking the same thing. Right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about the distribution process, and I didn't think about the delivery process. I mean, that's a whole nother angle to this, Moose.
The which one?
So, like the delivery process. I mean, there's some states where they can't deliver this.
That's absolutely right. They are not allowed to sell or send alcohol via online.
Certain states, I know Utah, right?
Utah is not available. I think California is available. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know about Texas. But this is, I don't know, man. I feel like we should pivot the conversation back to the network piece because, again, this is not a real milestone, man. 300 million pops, and we still have people that don't have 5G. Come on, and they have the phone capable to do it.
To be honest with you, and Josh chimes in, 5G soda would have been a funny attention getter for the anti-5G boomers. Yeah, I agree. So with the networking, we need to probably just completely shift away from this whole concept of pops, points of presence. It's not really meaningful, you know. The concept of a metric being in pops doesn't help you in places that are a little bit extended or off the beaten path. Okay, so we could say, for example, when I went on vacation with the family and we went to that resort, those would have been considered pops, but the service was basically unusable for dozens of miles, right? So everything was cool. We were getting 500 megabits per second on the freeway. I had nothing to complain about. Get off the freeway for a couple of miles and it's over. Now you're sub 2 megabits per second for 30 to 40 miles. And then we get to the resort and there's no coverage at all. So what if I didn't have Los Mobile? What if I didn't have FirstNet? What if I didn't have Verizon?
Right.
What was I going to be left with? No coverage.
No coverage.
I was going to be, at the mercy of Wi-Fi calling, or if I could get connected to the Wi-Fi, which, by the way, I don't remember seeing resort free Wi-Fi. I think it was a feature you had to pay for. So,
right.
That's where things get a little bit messed up with the whole concept of pops. And I think the FCC would be wise to hold the carriers more accountable to their metrics, their maps, the coverage indicators. And honestly, Moose, there's just something wrong with this whole concept of pops. I mean, it's cool as a general guideline, but if you're going to be celebrating pops, why is there no N41 map still available? That would have been huge here.
Right.
Like, what if that was a part of this?
There we go.
Hey, Carlos, good to see you, man.
Bro, my computer, my stupid computer, bro. I hate Windows. Windows is trash, bro.
Where's your Mac?
Apollo.
Don't you have a MacBook or something?
Yeah, but my Apollo is a Windows-based Apollo, bro. I should have got the universal one. That was for Mac and Windows, bro.
Oh, it's never too late. I'm sure it has some great resale value, and you can get what you need.
Bro, this Windows is garbage, bro. I haven't even used my computer for live streaming, bro, and all of a sudden it can't read the Apollo. It can't read nothing.
So, Carlos, any additional thoughts, bro, on this?
Honestly, bro, it's just a shit show, bro. It doesn't get any better than this, bro. Like, this is just wild. I can't believe that they're even letting this slide, bro. This should not be happening. I'm sorry to say, but this should not be happening.
I'm a big proponent of the square miles covered, which is why I kind of like the concept of the FirstNet approach, which is square miles covered, which is, you know, geographical range, you know, based. I'm kind of into that, actually.
But the thing is, bro, is they should have went another way with this PR stunt, you know? They should have done it better. They should have, I don't know. There was other ways to do it, bro.
Nelson says that there's a way to get Windows and macOS going on the Apollo, it looks like.
Well, I have the Windows-based only one.
Is that the software operating system?
No, the Apollo itself is just Windows-based. Because there was two versions. There was the one that has Windows, and it's in a black box. So the one in the black box can do Mac and Windows. The one in the blue box that I got only does Windows because it's USB 3. See, it says it right here.
Pete.
Hold on, it says it right here on the box.
Gotcha.
Apollo Twin USB 3 for Windows.
Gotcha.
So
now they're calling it 5G Ultra Capacity. That's where the N41 is. Square miles covered, normalized for speed and capacity available. I agree. I think it's really where it's at. You know, I mean, nobody wants to be tricked and misled. You know, you look at the maps to see, is this going to be a service that's going to meet the needs? You know, am I going to switch carriers and then be disappointed? The maps are important. I think that's kind of a starting point. This announcement should add some N41 maps.
Yeah, it really should have. That's what we honestly, a lot of people, that's what they were really expecting. I'm not gonna deny it. Like in the Discord, that's what we kept talking about. That was like the whole talk that we thought that's what this announcement was gonna be.
I did say in my prediction video that I thought it was gonna be some sort of an announcement that they were kind of like, it's possible we might see like a mid milestone. Remember, they wanted to be at 200 million pops by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, they're kind of like at 140. Maybe they're going to announce the halfway point at 150, you know, that sort of thing. And they kind of did. But the rest of it was all just silly.
Fortunately,
Magenta Martini, fastest gin fizz, 5 gimlet, gin and juice. Oh my god. Oh my god. My goodness.
Well, down.
You know what is going to be interesting? Let me pivot slightly back to the networking conversation. You know, Tyrone sent me a picture of 80 megahertz of C-band spectrum in Europe. Dude, it could easily do 2 gigs. Easily. So we're going to be experiencing a networking renaissance, man, with this C-band coming soon with Verizon and AT&T. I am very worried for T-Mobile because their N41, even with 100 megahertz, because of the backhaul issues, is not going to get even close to that.
You think that continues to be something that plagues their networking performance?
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on, man. You can't make deals. You can't make enough deals to supplement the fact that you have to still pay for a significant amount of money for these backhaul upgrades. There's no way that you're going to be able to get enough deals to basically get it close to, like super cheap, the rate. It's just not possible.
Mm-hmm. Apple Watts is saying, remind me not to drink anything from Heritage Distillery and Jones Soda Company. I think those are the ones that are providing the beverages.
Yeah, basically, from what I'm guessing, is they're the ones that are going to deliver it directly.
Hey, Oscar, how you doing? Glad you could stop by today. Yes, we'll continue to bash T-Mobile until they're changing drastically or they get sold to another carrier. Sheesh. Nelson chimes in, I'm just glad I'm getting good enough service to watch videos. Surf the net in front and backyard under Sprint got nothing but excuses about them fixing the tower. Dave is going to make him a magenta martini just for outlets. Nice.
Jesus, bro. Jesus H. Christ.
Well, we are going to be getting some root metrics. Half one. I think the data should be probably compiled here in the next week or two. We should get final reports on the root metrics. And we'll see if all of this 5Gen stuff helped them build a better network, right?
You know, it's going to be interesting this quarter. I'm telling you, man. It's ridiculous.
That was something that I talked about yesterday and on some tweets was the backup generators on the tower sites.
Right.
We had the announcement of, the preemption for first responders and, the pay plans and the free plans and all these other things. But a big piece of being a first responder is never failure, right? Like the never disconnected, always connected, always a signal. Well, the coverage for the network is one piece, but there's also backup generators. These towers cannot go down. I mean, I will admit, the only carrier in the CLE that loses any sort of tower activity during storms is T-Mobile. Verizon keeps chugging along, and AT&T keeps chugging along. I lose complete connectivity on my T-Mobile SIM.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Pete, I totally agree. The 5 megahertz of band 2 is a nightmare. I mean, that's literally call only, and it's not even reliable. The band 71 is better, but they're having signal issues at hospitals now for these first responders. It's gonna be an issue.
Yep. It's an issue all around, bro. You know me, bro. I'm out here trying to figure it out, bro. You know how it goes. We figure it out one step at a time, bro.
Jared Cohen, I agree. It is strange. It's unusual. Was this really the thing that you think made Matt Staniff leave, the former CMO? I mean, it was literally just 2 weeks ago where he left. Do you guys think he left because of this?
Who knows? There could have been multiple different issues.
Like, do you think he said, this is not what I'm here for? And just, walked out?
Could be.
Could be.
By the way, Carlos, Eugene, Sweaty Armpits, he co-signed this. He retweeted it and everything.
I know, and he's trying to say that it was Neville's idea.
Dude, he signed off on it. He's the CEO of the company. I mean, that's Neville's only boss, is Mike Seaver.
Exactly, bro. This is a huge huge issue.
I was telling Moose I didn't think about the whole delivery issue. You think that's going to be really something big, huh?
Well, your boy's gonna test that. Is gonna test that theory.
Oh. Are
Yeah,
you gonna
I
document
agree.
it? Are you gonna video vlog document it?
Carlos
Of
is going to
course.
do it, and he's going to prove that you can bypass the whole signature thing.
Well, remember, at my house, I have the signature bypass, and I do have how do you call it, the doorbell camera, so it'll be documented, recorded, and I got cameras on the side of my house too, that it'll be recorded at different angles.
So Big Lou chimed in and said maybe this should have been a T-Mobile Tuesday thing.
Yup, it should have been a T-Mobile Tuesday thing where you go in the store and they verify you with ID. That would have been.
Yeah, but then they would have to, Lowe's, they would have to inventory that stuff. You know what I
well,
mean?
it's a better fail-safe precaution move. What are they trying to get, bro? They're trying to get people drunk, so when they do a speed test, it looks fast as hell. They do their five gin-tini and shit, bro, and then they're like, it's very fast, bro. They're all drunk.
Wow. I could see the logistical issues trying to do it on a T-Mobile Tuesday. You'd have to get distribution centers. You could not do it. Like, they would have to do partnerships with, like, local, like, distribution. You couldn't do it from a T-Mobile store. The logistics are just impossible and improbable.
So
maybe our
supposedly,
expectations were too high, Los. Maybe we should just start to set the bar really low.
We got somebody saying that supposedly that this alcohol thing is going to get delivery drivers fired by people like Carlos calling them out. Unfortunate. Well, this is the thing there, Mr. Person, that
What?
the delivery driver is not going to know what's in the package. It's just going to say T-Mobile. When somebody sees T-Mobile, what are they going to automatically think? They're going to think it's a phone. The driver's not going to get fired. It's not his fault. It's not his problem. All he's doing is delivering a package. You know, and if it's signature bypass, it's signature bypass for that house. So it's not going to be the driver getting fired. It's going to be T-Mobile getting in a shit show because they're going to be giving alcohol to minors.
Yeah, I don't think what Carlos is trying to do is to get anybody fired. I think it's just to show that the execution is convoluted and dynamic and complicated, and it's not easy.
It should have been done, like you said, at a store like a T-Mobile. They should have did it like a 5G Thursday, you know? They just did it on a Thursday.
But they got Thong Thursday.
Okay, well then they should have done it on a 5G Friday. Then.
5G Friday.
You know,
it's gonna have to have warnings and markings. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Take care, Joe. Good to see you. Drunk speed testing on the T-Mobile network. That's right. Yeah, Big Lou sees it your way. He thinks those same issues exist.
Hey, what up, Big Lou?
It's very possible, Josh. But I mean, hey, who's it on? You know, you got freaking guys like remember what was his name? Chris Hansen. He used to go around to catch a predator. I mean, there are people hunting people all the time. That's not even the intention here.
Bro, the intention, I don't want to see no driver get fired. That's the least of my concern. But T-Mobile should have executed this a lot better because a lot of the T-Mobile clientele is actually between the ages of 18 and 20. They got a lot of those customers. And then a lot of those other customers that are on those family plans are within the ages of 13 to 17. And when they see that text, because you're going to get a text tomorrow on your phone saying that, 5G, whatever that advertisement is to be able to purchase it. So once the minor sees that, they're going to be like, oh, shit, I could just put it under my parents' name real quick, have it delivered, and let's say they do have signature bypass, it'll just get dropped off at the door. I'll act like it's nothing, grab the package, and there you go. Now I got some drinks for me and my homies to get lit.
Just got a tweet from Hans Vestberg, CEO of Verizon. He's saying that Verizon is ready for wildfire season. We want you to be too. Tweeting out life-saving tips in areas that are susceptible to fires. So carriers that are on two different wavelengths.
Honestly, bro, like I've said, we talked about this earlier. Like I said, bro, they're bragging too much. I understand that they're getting the frequency out there and everything, but at the end of the day, they're bragging too much, bro. Until I see some real standalone, none of this NSA BS. All three major carriers. I'm not just gonna follow this on T-Mobile, but I'm talking
Sure,
about
you're
Verizon
absolutely
and
right.
AT&T too.
Yep.
It's all
I think
fake
you're right
wolf
on.
tickets, bro. They're fire. The closest that we have right now, the tiny closest is the millimeter wave because all the downlink is based off of 5G only, and it's only the uplink that's based off of that. But even then, it's still not true 5G because it's not standalone. So until it's off LTE as a main band, and until it's off NSA, none of these carriers right now have a true 5G standard. And the carrier
Actually,
that
Los,
will is
the
this.
5G standalone from T-Mobile is slower than the non-standalone,
Yeah,
and the
because
reliability is just terrible. Like if you
because
were to set your phone to standalone, I mean, you wouldn't have signal 90% of the time, if not 95% of the time.
and you know what's the reason why, right? Because it's still running on the 4G LTE core.
Sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that have to happen at the tower level, the vendor level, software, other things. I mean, there's a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Exactly. All three don't have a real 5G standard yet. The one that's going to have the real 5G standalone is going to be Dish. This is why I'm excited
Yeah,
for
Dish,
Dish.
sure. Yeah.
This is why we will cover Dish like hawks, bro. We will be on their ass.
David chimes in. I predict an apology and donation by T-Mobile to a rehab charity of some sort. Goodness. Yeah, I do like what AT&T is doing with the LTE. I love the upgrades. And see, the thing is, you're not just upgrading LTE. You're upgrading the overall networking experience.
Yes.
Clearly, users don't care what type of icon it is, as long as the service is uninterrupted, no disruptions, no issues, no signal degradation, no call dropping. All the things that you got to do to stay connected.
Honestly, Sneed, I've been seeing a lot of Verizon capacity upgrades here ever since they've been rolling out their Fios fiber on their towers. Well, I've been seeing towers that were literally rock bottom pits. They were tanking during peak hours, everything now to being over 300 Mbps on peak hours on LTE. A lot, and the backhaul had a lot of the issues that it fixed a lot of the issues. There you go. That the native backhaul alone, because they're still running the same 4 carrier aggregation setup with no CDRS, and I'm getting over 300 Mbps.
The native backhaul, it's not so much that it's not helping us that it's native. It's helping us is that it's upgraded, right? It's a higher capacity potential, is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who provides the backhaul as long as it's capacity. I totally agree, Big Lou. I think Dish is going to be big time. They're going to offer some pretty unique networking potential. I totally agree. So the reason
Fire Mobile, bro, like he loves to call them, Fire Mobile. Eventually,
That's
they
right,
might team
Fire
up with
Mobile.
Amazon.
Who knows? I know they're running with AWS. If you force 5G standalone, why would you lose signal? Standalone 5G is supposed to be nationwide on T-Mobile. Absolutely not. Absolutely not nationwide.
Not every tower has the software to run as standalone on the LTE core. So I forced standalone 41, and let's say 1 out of 5 every 5 towers I would connect. Same with 71 because it depends on the tower.
What people have to understand, it's not that the fact that Verizon and AT&T have native backhaul and native fiber, that helps their business. That's owner economics. That doesn't change anything to us other than the fact that they're upgrading the backhaul. The fact that it's their own helps them. So it doesn't matter if they get it from Lumen. It doesn't matter if they get it from Charter. It doesn't matter if they get it from Time Warner Spectrum. It doesn't matter if the fiber is upgraded. It's upgraded. It just happens to be that Verizon's initiative with their Fiber One program is to upgrade a lot of their own sites with their own fiber because of its cost effective. And the same thing with the millimeter wave nodes, that's all their own fiber. You know, I saw Verizon trucks today near my house. Those Verizon trucks are going, yeah. I mean, I don't care if they're going to have Fios or if they're going to be upgrading cell sites with fiber. It makes no difference to me.
That's good.
I know AT&T is about to penetrate the corridor with fiber. They're going to probably bury Cox where they stand.
Because you look at it like this. You have native backhaul. You see an area that's struggling. Let's say these certain tower sectors are struggling. You can bump up the backhaul. You don't have to depend on the third party to do it. So like, let's say if you're with Lumen, bro, then you put the order to Lumen, hey, you know, instead of 10 gig, I need it to be a 20 gig backhaul. Okay, so Lumen can take freaking a week to turn it up, you know, depending on how backed up they are on their workload, or if they have to send somebody else to add something else to the fiber, you know, to the box. So if they do their own native, then it's easy, bro, because all they got to do with a flip of a switch, and we know Verizon, or AT&T, they're gonna go in there and they're gonna add to be able to do 50 gig backhaul, you know, and they just turn it up as they need it by, you know, remotely with a switch.
Yeah, I know Moose is going to be thrilled to know that AT&T has penetrated the corridor with fiber.
Oh yeah,
100%, dog. 100%.
I mean, full out penetration, you know.
Yep. God damn. Anyways, so gotta get some stuff done, but we'll definitely be talking soon. Okay.
All right, Moose. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, man. You too, guys. See you later.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. What happened to Tyrone?
Tyrone was in and out, disconnecting. I think he was on his T-Mobile line.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But bro, I've
Anyways,
been following the permits, bro. They're looking good, bro.
Interesting. I'm actually gonna make a video here shortly. We're probably gonna have to end the podcast here for a second, but yeah, Los, I got a lot of what you shared with me: the pics, the photos, the images, the intel. Big shout out to Running Flame over on Patreon. He sent over some intel on the permit acquisition process in Las Vegas. So it looks like everything is a go. It looks like Vegas is going to be ready sooner than we even realized, Carlos.
I know. They're executing within 60 days. 60 days max. They have a site up and running.
Wow.
A lot of these permits that I've been following, they've been filed in April 8th to be exact. The exact date on a lot of these permits is April 8th.
Yeah. You know what's crazy, Los, is there was somebody commenting on the video from this morning that you sent over to me and I uploaded. He was commenting that those are not Dish tower sites. I mean, some people literally don't.
God.
I don't even know what to say. Like, it's brand new hardware. All the other carriers exist on the sites. It's their antennas and stuff that we've never seen before.
I even send you the permits,
and the
bro.
permits and the permits are there. Like, what is? And then that's not Dish. That's what they're crazy,
bro. We got bro. We're not gonna tell you something, bro, if we don't have at least documentation to back it up. Every tower site that I've been going to that I've seen foreign equipment, like I got Sheep and PA Tech and shit helping me out, you know. And then we pull up the permits, bro, and we see, okay, Dish Wireless, okay, and we see this foreign equipment. Yep, it's got to be Dish because they have the permit that shows completed.
Sure. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do, man? Some people just
they're haters, bro. Like a lot of these people hate on Dish.
And it's not just that; it's just the fact that somebody else is identifying it and putting it out there. Like, you should be seeing that as helpful and informative. You know, my goodness,
bro. We need Dish to become a true competitor, bro.
Big shout out to BG Grizzly. He just upgraded his Patreon support pledge. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. That's very nice of you.
Hell yeah, man. But we need them to, to get the ball rolling, bro, because
I think you're right about that. I mean, you put that at the end of the video. I totally agree.
they need to win, bro. And if whoever doesn't want Dish to win, then I'm sorry, you're
just a hater.
You're just a hater, and you got too much pink Kool-Aid and running through your veins. You need to let it go.
I mean,
Because
Josh is saying he wants to see T-Mobile get bodied by Dish. I mean, yeah, you just want competitors, you know?
no,
Even
we
if
want
you
the
don't
four.
go with Dish, right? Even if you don't use Dish as a provider, you want them to be legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because if they're legitimate, then the other carriers have to respond and move. This is what we said about T-Mobile for years, Carlos.
Yep.
Right? We wanted T-Mobile to... They had John Leisure. They had the Uncarrier moniker. They had the branding, the marketing. We wanted the network to catch up to all of that. You know?
Exactly. I'm telling you, bro. Just because people don't like Charlie Ergen doesn't mean that you don't want to see him succeed.
Yeah, but I don't have to like John Stanky. I don't like to have Hans Vestberg. Who cares who the CEO is? Who cares?
There's just
Who
a lot
cares
of
who's the
people
president of the company?
A lot of people hold grudge on him because of how he was hoarding the spectrum. But you know what? Now he's actually doing something with it.
Yeah,
He was
it's
waiting for
over.
the right time. It's over.
Yeah, everything's perfect. The stars aligned. His money situation. He's getting, the whole concept of satellite TV is starting to die out. The spectrum he holds is valuable. He's got great tower deals. He's involved in the T-Mobile
Bro.
and Sprint merger, which puts him in a position to have roaming agreements and network access for LTE. There's so many things that lined up. Now it's time for it to come to fruition.
And another thing too, bro, is just I've been figuring out their strategy. So I have the strategy laid out, bro. This is how they're doing it. Wherever there's a Band 26 Sprint tower, Dish is planting their seed right there. That's where they're putting their panels. Every permit I've looked up where Sprint Band 26 is, the permits line up with the address. Perfect.
Oh, so they're the former sites of where Sprint was.
Yeah, but since they have rights to the 26, that's why they're locating there. 26 is already there.
Huh.
The fiber, what they're doing is taking over the fiber deal from Sprint. So then they don't have to worry about paying down payments, deposits, bro.
Negotiations and other things, right?
Because I looked at on the permits too. It shows there how much, because they have to here in Clark County, you have to disclose how much the bill's going to be at the end. After buying the panels, buying everything, and the most expensive site I've seen is $20,000.
I think it's going to be some solid networking because I like the outside the box thinking of what Dish will be able to do with a greenfield 5G network. Remember, they're starting from scratch. There's nothing pre-existing. There's no book on how to do this. It's never happened before.
Nope.
A carrier starting from scratch, 5G standalone. There's no LTE requirement. There's none of that. I mean, they're going to have the LTE agreement, access with T-Mobile, but that's not theirs. And they don't have to, comply to any of that. And, I think about, well, how many customers are they going to serve? They have as much spectrum as the old T-Mobile did. And the old T-Mobile used to serve, what was it, Los? Like 78 million customers?
Yeah.
And Verizon just has a little bit more than that, and they serve 130 million customers.
Dish is going to be fine, bro. They will be fine. It's just, if they continue with what they're doing, they'll be fine.
Good to see you, Albert. Glad you could stop by. Yeah. Interesting. All right, Los. Let's wrap up the show. I don't know if you're making any content, you're working on anything, you want to let them know what's going on with the channel. I know you've had a lot of drone coverage. You're doing a lot with Dish. Go ahead and tell the peeps what's happening.
Bro, let's put it this way. You guys want to see Dish updates, Dish news, tune into our channels. We
Yeah.
will be the exclusive dish coverage tech channels for sure.
We'll keep you tuned in on the dish stuff. We'll be on the lookout for C-band. You guys know we're tracking the millimeter wave builds. I don't know, Josh. I don't know if we could do spaces. I'm gonna eat some dinner. So hashtag ravioli gang. Big shout out to all my mods. Hashtag mod squad. I do see Big Lou. Earlier I saw Barry, Chame. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming through tonight. This evening, I should say. Nikki, David. We had Barry. I know that I think there were a couple of more. We had Apple Watts. Baby Yoda was in the house.
Yep.
You guys are awesome. David, thanks for coming through. My brother Jose was in the house earlier. If he's still here, big shout out to him. Big shout out to all those that shared the podcast. If you haven't done so already, please do that. That's how you help the channel out. You don't have to donate. All those things are great, and I appreciate them. But, something you can easily do is rate the video, give it a thumbs up, and then share it to your social media. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you have, share it. Big shout out to Pete. I see you, bro. Appreciate you, Pete. Thanks for coming by. Big shout out to Pat as well. Aaron P. Hashtag SMT Nation. You guys are the best. Josh. Who else was here? Philip. Keon. Hashtag 2 Live Crew if you were here in the live. Hashtag Replay Gang if you're watching this on DVR. Hashtag Ravioli Gang if you're eating or whatever. Appreciate you guys. Let's wrap it up. Carlos, thanks for coming on. I know we had the little snafu earlier, but it was good to get you on and talk about it. So,
And don't forget
that's it.
Don't forget to order your little drunk cocktail tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you feel so compelled to do so, T-Mobile is now officially an alcohol distributor. So get your adult beverages on Thong Thursdays and such. All right, y'all. We out this piece. Carlos, thank you, man. We out. Peace.